Cool. Um, for interview prep and tips, I think Yash has already talked a lot about it, talking about your spikes, being able to frame your answers well, being able to talk about the context or the objective, what you achieved and how you did that, being able to frame this really well. Basically, having a structure, top-down structure, like Yash said, that when you ask this question about something in my CV, for example, I'm an engineer from Texas Instruments. So if a question about this chip that I designed was asked, I'll give them some context on what this chip does. It's going to be used in 5G telecom technology. This was the problem that we were facing, that there was too much power being used and blah and blah. And this is how we solved it, by using some novel technology or some novel architecture in the technology, and that's how we solved it. Or because we were able to, what do you call it, partner with another team who's developing the second piece of the chip, and we were able to bargain a little bit or negotiate that this is a spec that I can go a little lower on. I might not be able to meet the power requirements, but will definitely give you a much better signal, stuff like that. So you need to be able uh, to 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 talk about it in, like, let's say 3 or 4 points, that yes, the objective was this, we were doing this was the key challenge that we were facing, or this is what we wanted to achieve, and the third thing was this is what I did, uh, or these are the couple of things that we did, A and B, that helped us achieve this. And finally, this big piece over here, this is make or break. Cases are hygiene. You knowing about your CV is very, very important, hygiene. But you know for a fact that most of the people are or will be able to prepare for this. But these HR questions and fit questions will definitely drive a lot of the conversation, especially in the partner round or the last round of the interview, wherein the partner would be interested to know whether, uh, just like Yash, as Yash said, that whether you'd stay here and become a partner in those 5, 7, 10 years or not. And the second kind of test that we have had is airport test. If you were to see this guy in an airport, meet him, would you want to talk to him for that 15-minute delay in a flight? So if your flight's delayed by 15 minutes and you are two people from Deloitte that are traveling from your base location to the client location, can you carry on a good conversation for 15, 20, 30 minutes or not? For that, you need to be able to talk about yourself. You need to be, again, polite, courteous, yet interesting enough, being able to communicate your pointers well, being able to hold your ground if, let's say, you're challenged on a particular thought that you present, without being a disrespectful of the person in front. Again, the set of questions on strengths and weaknesses, you should not shy away from answering a weakness that you have. You, of course, you can't answer something like, I'm not, I don't think so, I'm good with math or something. That'll definitely be very, very bad, because we work on Excel and on numbers. You can't say that I'm not great at math and that's a weakness and I'm working towards it. Too late for it. But you can, of course, bring out a behavioral aspect, that I'm someone who was a little more reserved, did not talk a lot to people, but I have been trying to outshine myself. I try to go out a lot, stuff like that. And that has kind of that was not really great for my office relationships. But now that I'm doing this, I have great relationships with people around me, stuff like that. Or you can talk about you being super stubborn. For example, that was one point that I did talk about, that I am a little stubborn. I will not ask for help unless hell breaks loose. That was my weakness, and when I realized that, I tried to correct it by being more mindful of the fact that I have a task at hand and I have to achieve it in given time. So there's no shame in asking for help after I've given it a shot. Because you will not know everything, you have to get back to a room, brainstorm with people who are as sharp or even sharper than you, or probably you don't have the right perspective. So understanding that you might be smart, but you might not have the right perspective, and you have to reach out to the person who has, is also right. And that's where, if you can show that you have a behavior, that you know that you have had a behavioral weakness, that just shows to the interviewer that you are a self-aware person. But you also have to show that you're working on that weakness, and and you've made some progress. The last two questions on why consulting and why this company, these are a given. I think every interview that I have taken or given, these questions have been asked to me. Why do you want to get into consulting? Because everyone wants to ensure that these 16, 18 taxing hours you can take up, and you won't leave. Even if you can take these 16, 18 taxing hours, you are actually passionate about that company more than just the money that they're offering. So you have to tell them that there's a brand name that this company offers, and I don't want to lose out on that. Or you can say that it has great people, great culture, and something that I admire about this company, stuff like that. Or it might be that it's the market leader in ops consulting, and I've always been enthusiastic about that. So your reason could be yours, but make sure that you're honest in these answers. But you have to make sure that at no point, none of these points, do you speak ill about anyone else or any other company. So you can't say that I like McKinsey because MBB top three or McKinsey, BCG, Bain are crappy companies, or they don't have great work culture. You always have to focus on the positives. Make sure that you don't come across as someone who's bitching about stuff.